My name is Bree McMahon, and I'm an assistant professor of graphic design at the School of Art at the University of Arkansas.
And my name is Ryan Slone. I'm assistant professor of graphic design at the School of Art, University of Arkansas. Today we're going to present the details of a project we recently did with first-year design students in an effort to foster improvisation and collaboration in their studio culture.
As many of you know, Design Futures, released by AIGA in 2018, anticipates a future where design solutions must be open-ended to accommodate many layers of uncertainty. Ryan and I were concerned with how we might use this idea in our courses and with our students, in particular how we might rotate their thinking to be less focused on products and service-based solutions and draw their attention to tools, methods, and design processes. We wanted to teach our students the importance of being able to adapt, flexibility, and participation.
The Bauhaus model of practice shows the designer as the expert personal genius who must protect ideas from competitors. But this is changing. Design has seen a shift away from product-based solutions to creating processes and systems. This made us interested in redesigning the process of learning as well. To do so, we borrowed pedagogical theory and processes from other disciplines and educators to try and disrupt the familiar structure of design education.
This includes defamiliarization, a technique from Russian literature and the Dada movement. It's a sort of structure of presenting familiar concepts in unfamiliar ways. We also were inspired by improv acting as a way to help our students that are fixating on certain paths and outcomes, and gamification to incorporate rules of play or constraints in an effort to help students explore and take risks.
We also look to existing systems that shake up the design process, such as Conditional Design Workbook and Designer Size, which is an online design prompt generator.
Before we figured out how to apply these principles to our teaching, we decided to do it ourselves in the form of the Mashmaker project, a nod to a mashup of oppositional elements commonly found in music.
In this system, we designed songs in real time within specific parameters. These constraints were designed to encourage improvisation using a disruptive and participatory design process. We used a set of rules. Time, we had to design within the song's duration. Image, we had to incorporate the top Google image search of the song's title.
And type, we chose Times New Roman because of its universal defaultness. Also, the songs used in this project drew heavily from hip-hop. Perhaps more than any other musical genre, hip-hop celebrates lyrical improvisation and is rooted in time-based sound structures.
Allow us to explain how this worked using a few case studies. This piece is for the song Fear by Kendrick Lamar, designed with this top right image in 7 minutes and 40 seconds, which was the duration of the track.
Here is another example, which is a considerably shorter track and design length.
A few further case studies for reference.
And the improvisational component to this process can't be understated. We found inspiration in letting go and allowing the sonic to influence the visual and vice versa.
The next step was to apply this system to the classroom. We were excited at the idea of our students engaging in this process of making. We started with an in-class charrette for first-year design students, in which they responded to songs in real time, anything from instrumental scores to 70s-era punk rock.
Students were given rules for each song using analog-based tools found in the studio. Some of the constraints were challenging and collaborative. One had students tie their hands together while they use a Sharpie.
Once students were familiar with the process, we introduced them to the next phase of the project. To begin, each student contributed a song to a class playlist. Then they designed each of the tracks, each with a different set of constraints, that introduced them to new Adobe Suite tools.
We knew that this process might be intimidating for them, so we gave them a set of overarching rules. 1, don't worry about what it looks like. 2, allow yourself to have fun and take risks. And 3, there will be no critique.
In an ever-changing demonstration of their efforts, students assembled the work into a grid on the studio wall as they progressed throughout the project.
When finished, the studio collection of over 250 visualizations showcased their collective efforts.
Students were also asked to reflect on their experience and compile their individual visuals and reflective writing into a process book.
We found that students were well aware of their design decision-making throughout the making stage, and many described improvising as they worked. We also observed that the majority of students demonstrated empathetic listening skills by connecting the sonic qualities of the music to their visualizations.
In one instance of deviant thinking, a student used the tools completely differently. She actually tapped out periods and spaces to the rhythm of her song, and then the beat created lines and dots, a direct connection to the music.
Right now, we're thinking about what the next steps are for this project. We're really concerned with accessibility and how we might replace the music component with other time-based experiences.
But in general, we're really excited about exploring the design process in new and disruptive ways. We also see this work as an empathy builder and a way to encourage community within our student studios.
And here is our contact information. Thank you so much for having us. We would love to hear about similar workshops you may have run in your own classrooms, especially those that incorporate improv.